Suppose Germany resembled this or France like this. These changed maps aren't from a science fiction novel. They're photographs of things change and not exactly how you think they will. Today, let's take a close look at a recognizable but unfamiliar shape in South America. It's not a nation that stands out as being particularly large. It doesn't appear to be anything else on the continent. It is not broad or square or even remotely symmetrical. It does not look like anything else on the continent. It is not wide, nor square, nor even close to balanced. Rather, it stretches down like a ribbon, narrow, long, and hugging the edge of the Pacific. Upon first glance, it might look like a weird shape, but this strange geography conceals a far greater tale. A story of ancient cultures, colonial desires, bloody wars, and a modern-day struggle to stay connected in a world shaped by borders and terrain. Because Chile's shape is not just odd, it brings with it very real challenges, from earthquakes to economic hardships, and somehow, against all odds, Chile keeps finding ways to survive and thrive. To understand why Chile is the way it is, we need to rewind a bit. Thousands of years ago, this land wasn't a country. It was inhabited by numerous groups of aborigines. Far from today's dry landscape, the Atacama Desert that now blankets much of northern Chile used to be scattered with lakes and inhabited by the sophisticated cultures of the Atacameños and Aymara nations. And still farther south, the Mapuche lived in rolling hills and green valleys. Life was harsh. The land was harsh too, but they survived. They constructed irrigation systems, made tools, and established societies that endured for centuries. And then arrived the Spanish. Conquistadors arrived in Chile early in the 1500s looking for wealth and glory. They found instead a harsh, unfriendly country with hard-to-subdue people. Relative to the Aztecs or Inca, Chile was a side quest. Spanish conquest here had nothing to do with magnificent cities or mountainous gold. It was a long, expensive struggle that lasted for decades. Skip ahead to 1818. Chile gains its independence, but don't imagine a cohesive nation from the top of South America to the Peruvian border, not quite yet. Early Chile was largely a regional power based in and around Santiago, located in the center of the country. That all changed in the War of the Pacific in the late 1800s. At that time, Chile fought a war against Peru and Bolivia for control of the rich Atacama Desert. It came as a devastating surprise. Everyone had expected Peru and Bolivia to emerge victorious, but Chile won. This doubling of size overnight propelled Chile into the international limelight. All of a sudden, Chile was sitting on immense mineral riches and nitrate deposits that were essential for fertilizers and explosives. This wealth and strategic location provided the impetus for further expansion. In the south, Chile negotiated with Argentina for control of resource-rich Patagonia and the strategic Strait of Magellan. After decades of small-scale conflicts, the Treaty of 1881 at last resolved the border conflicts, allowing Chile unchallenged access to the Pacific. By the turn of the century, Chile had transformed from a modest middle-of-the-road country to a long, thin powerhouse stretching for over 4,000 kilometers along the Pacific. By the beginning of the century, Chile had evolved from a humble middle-of-the-road nation into a slender, elongated powerhouse running for more than 4,000 kilometers along the Pacific coast. But with great length, there comes great issue. Chile is a slender, elongated nation wedged between the sea and the Andes Mountains. The majority of the nation is only a few dozen kilometers wide. Try imagining constructing a house with 3 sides of walls. That is the reality of Chile. Such distinctive geography is accompanied by a package of problems. Let us begin with the positives. Chile receives rich seafood from the Pacific, plenty of water for agriculture, and unlimited scenery. The Andes provide stunning vistas, minerals, and protection from invaders in the form of a natural barrier. But there's a catch. This natural beauty blessing is accompanied by a curse of inaccessibility. How do you link a country that resembles a loose thread? Chileans have had to master innovative problem-solving. Let's take transportation. If you are going to move from the north to the south of Chile, you will require a lot of time and patience. Flying is more than 5 hours as a result of the country's length and the few airports available. By car, the journey can take 2 days or more considering the winding roads and unpredictable weather conditions, especially in the south. Winter snow blocks the roads. Landslides are the rule. Throw in infrequent earthquakes and the task of mobility is a challenge. This geographical fact has serious economic implications as well. Transporting goods and services across and along the nation is a logistical challenge. Yes, Chile has good roads, a railroad network, and efficient ports such as Valparaiso and San Antonio. But despite these benefits, companies pay more than elsewhere. Distance, terrain, and exposure to natural disasters increase the cost of exporting commodities. And that is something that hurts everybody. People pay more and Chile's international competitiveness is harmed. And maybe the greatest challenge of all is what shape Chile gives to its people. The population is not evenly distributed. Half of all Chileans reside in or near Santiago, the capital in the central region. Though the north and south are less populated, Santiago boasts the best universities, medical care, shopping, and cultural amenities. The other areas are unable to keep up these facilities, resulting in inequalities in healthcare and education and overall lifestyle. It's not all bad news, however. Chile has adapted and innovated. But maybe the most surprising aspect of all is the way Chileans perceive themselves. They are not defined by being isolated. They prefer it. Here are a couple of examples. Regardless of the absence of connectivity, Chileans are highly united as a nation. Countless policy initiatives and programs have been rolled out to bridge regional gaps, ensure equal access to education and health, and drive economic growth away from Santiago. One of these is the building of the Carretera Austral, or Route 7, which began in the 1970s and continues to this day. This road runs through the center of Chile's southern Patagonia, linking small towns and promoting regional growth. A wonderful illustration is how technology keeps people connected. Much investment in telecommunications has taken place in Chile, especially in rural and isolated areas. The idea is to provide every Chilean with quality internet access. Currently, more than 90% of Chileans have access to the internet, which serves to overcome the physical gap between areas. Chile has also spent heavily on creating sophisticated transportation networks. There are many airports, advanced railway systems, and effective bus companies to assist in linking people and goods within the nation. For example, Chile recently improved its airport in Calama, in the dry north, to service additional international flights, enhancing links to the rest of the nation and the globe. There are, however, still problems. The geography of Chile remains a hindrance to complete connectivity. The country's peculiar shape requires Chile to spend large amounts of money on infrastructure in order to keep its head above water. From earthquake-proof buildings to road repairs on a grand scale, these expenses mount. A large share of Chile's budget goes to keeping and renovating infrastructure, pulling away money that could be spent on other vital services such as education, health, and social welfare. A large share of Chile's budget goes to keeping and renovating infrastructure, pulling away money that could be spent on other vital services such as education, health, and social welfare. Next, let's discuss Chile and the countries to its north. We said it has land borders with Argentina to the east and Peru and Bolivia to the north. But the nature of these relationships isn't always harmonious. Border conflicts and water rights sometimes create tension with Argentina, particularly the Beagle Channel and use of water resources. In addition to that, Chile's nearby location to the Pacific and lengthy coastline put it at risk to a number of maritime hazards. Ranging from the effective management of marine resources to maritime security, Chile needs to invest in solving these problems. Thus, Chile is a great nation with terrific scenery and diverse culture. Its geography is not only strange, It's a teacher, a challenge, and an inspiration. The Chileans teach us that where there's a will, there's a way. Whether it's through infrastructure developments, technological fixes, or sheer will, Chile adjusts. Its tale is one that all of us can learn from. Geography can provide us with limitations, but not our limitations. Let's take Chile's lead and remember that our place isn't our limitation. It's a chance to innovate, evolve, and expand. Thanks for being with us today. If you liked this journey through Chile, don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories from all over the world. Until we meet again, keep exploring, keep inquiring, and keep unearthing the world's unseen marvels right here on our channel.